Again. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Hey,
Ta-da!
we're back.
Hello.
Made it.
Yeah, maybe I didn't pay my Zoom account. I don't know. Something happened. Every once in a while that happens. You log in and it doesn't think that you who you are. But anyway, we are back. We are who we are.
We are who we are.
So we are back. And sorry for the delay, folks, but we're back. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Entertainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Hey! My name is Chris Corwin. I'm your I'm the host, I guess. One of the hosts. Look, I'm still fighting this cold and flu, so 2 weeks now. Oh, anyway, we'll get over it.
It's a good thing we're in separate rooms.
Good thing we're in separate rooms. Yeah. Thank you for COVID, I guess. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay. I'm also an amateur astronomer and a member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada. And I'm tired.
Hey.
I'd like to welcome back my two regular co-hosts this evening, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshadow Observatory in beautiful Hampton. Paul, evening.
Hello, hello.
And Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Mike.
Whoa.
Hey. We'd like to welcome all of you tonight from YouTube and Facebook land and everybody who's out there joining us from the local Rogers TV network. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, so in tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, now every year, manufacturers introduce new products to make our hobby a little bit easier and to help us navigate and enjoy the hobby. We are over almost halfway, I guess, through the 2024, and we've realized we really haven't looked at what's new in astronomy gear this year. So tonight we're going to take a look at some of the newest astronomy products on the market, not only for the professional, but also from the amateur and young astronomer as well. Also tonight, Mike will be bringing back another vinyl bud. Yep. And, Rosanna and Paul's going to bring back another Rosanna.
Indeed.
Yes. And I'll provide you with a quick look at the week ahead, along with all of your wonderful photo submissions from the other night from a nice full moon, strawberry moon. Yeah.
Strawberry moon.
Yeah. Let's start then tonight. Hey, good evening, New Brunswick Storm Weather Center. Good evening, sir.
Hey, John.
Hey, Sean. Thanks for sharing. And so let's get started then with the discussion around some of the newest products for astronomers, for both professional and beginner.
What's out there?
What's out there, anyway?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to start with me. I think we agreed it was going to be me to start, but well,
we'll agree to that now.
They agreed it was going to be me to start.
And by the way, if there's somebody out there who's bought something that's a relatively new product and you're using it, chime in, let us know. We'd like to be,
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we can't possibly look at them all, right?
No, that's right. Okay, so all I did, I like the background, Mike. Good job. Winston says, "Hey, there you go, Mike."
I'm in the observatory tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to quickly share what I was looking at, and what I did was basically I just went to one of the popular astronomy sites, and I asked what was new out there. So I'm going to bring up a few things that are, and it's pretty hard not to talk about this guy. Can we see it? Yes.
Yep.
Here it is. Yeah. So the Seastar S50 smart telescope. A lot of people locally are using this product now. It's very popular. Is of course it's a smart telescope, very tiny. If you look at it, you'd think, okay, that's a toy. Really not sure how this thing works, but really once you set it up, it's quite impressive for the results. So it's called Explore the Universe with Seastar, the all-in-one smart telescope. Lightweight design, clean, crisp, low noise images, smart control application, built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Has its own global astronomy community. You can go in here and post your pictures and talk about your scope. Intelligent post-processing. So you have an app that goes with it, and download the app to your device. And on your device, you'll display an image. It has a digital eyepiece, basically. It captures the sky, and it uses something called live stacking, where you take a picture of the sky, and shortly later, it'll take another picture of the sky. They'll stack the pictures on top of each other, and then you end up with an image that's viewable. So a lot different from looking in the eyepiece and seeing a blob of stuff and saying, "Hey, that's the Andromeda Galaxy." No, that is a live image versus this image. It's also live, but it's a stacked image, so that you get to see an object closer to how it would be resembled in space, I guess would be the way.
Well, you get to see it in color instead of black and white.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it has a number of features available. You can it does good lunar and solar as well. It does have a solar built-in solar, or it does have an adapter, I guess, for solar or viewing as well. It describes a lot of it here. It's on Astronomy Plus's website. I actually went there to see what they said was new. I haven't got one of these. I don't have one of these yet. I haven't bought one, but I know a number of people who have, and they're having pretty good luck with it. They're very happy with those who have purchased it. There's an example. It has a dual band filter as well, so your nebulosity comes out a little bit clearer. A white solar filter, as I mentioned, so you can actually image the sun. You can compare images there. 2.5 kilograms in weight, so pretty light. Dual mode for video and photo capture. I don't know what else to say about this, guys. Do you guys want to add it?
It's you can use it for more than just space. Like you can use it for daytime too if you want to do some terrestrial stuff. You can do that with it. But as far as what it goes, the biggest thing with it is it's a good introductory for people who want to get excited about showing their pictures to other people quickly, and in color. And if you're any good at processing at all, you can get a relatively clean, decent picture out of it. So yeah, it's a great little tool that a lot of people are using, and they're having good success. I find it shines for me with the images I've been looking at. It shines best for the moon and the sun.
Right.
Yeah, because they're just nice, sharp, clear, bright things to shoot at anyway. And a lot of the images I've been seeing with them, that's impressed me.
Yeah, very, like I say, very tiny, but has a lot of features. Robert's on here. He has one. Robert Cadet. A few hiccups, he said, with software and updates, but it's a great device. I've actually figured out how to do palette editing with it. So there you go. So yeah, it's a great toy. It's great for beginners, for those who are interested in seeing images that are stacked, and more results, I'll say, or like you said, like Paul said, through the eyepiece. It's a different view for sure, but it is a digital type scope with that provides you with a view on a tablet or cell phone with the app included. So price is around $674. So they'll probably come down in price, I would expect, in a little while. That's one thing I was quickly to look at. Another one I had found on the site was this one here, which is the Celestron StarSense Explorer 114 millimeter tabletop Dobsonian. So I'm a tabletop Dobsonian guy. I've got a few of them sitting here. And I do like them because they're quick, they're portable. Hey, the moon's out. Let's go take a quick look at the moon because I've only got 10 minutes or whatever, and you can quickly take a quick look at the sky. Now these ones here are this is a manual scope. So a tabletop model is basically that. It's a short little scope. It swivels back and forth and up and down both. All manual. But you can take that telescope and mount it on a regular tripod as well, so you can get the right height that you want out of it. If you don't have a picnic table or something like that around outside, you can use a photo tripod or a scope tripod to mount it to. And it also has this StarSense technology, which is the new feature here. So the phone here actually captures an image of the sky. There's a small mirror here, and it does something called plate solving, which helps it decide where it is in the sky at that time. And it'll give you guidance through a set of arrows, left, right, up, or down. Once you plug in an object, it'll help you find that object in the night sky. So it does help you find particular objects without having to try to find them yourself in the sky. So it is good that way. It does provide you with some neat features that way for beginners. It's a great little scope, 114. You're going to get a chance to have a look at the rings of Saturn. The moon is beautiful through these types of scopes. It's a reflector telescope, so your image is actually upside down. But once you get used to that, that's not a really big deal. The price is around $471 for that one. That's about where they're going to run for tabletops now. Everything is way up in price, of course, when you look at inflation the way it is. I mean, it's hitting everything, right? Not just groceries, but astronomy gear as well. Winston says when the price is $700, I wouldn't call it a toy. That's true, Winston. But the problem is the price for toys now is way up as well. So everything is really high priced right now. So, I mean, you can always take a look at a site like Astro Buy Sell, go there. And there are people who get into the hobby that decide, something is not for me. And you can sometimes find pretty good deals. Probably about 95% of the stuff I own is all used. And Marketplace is another one on Facebook. I mean, there are places where you can find used gear. So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff too, because usually astronomy gear, when you buy it used, the astronomers who own the stuff originally usually take pretty good care of the gear. And it doesn't usually get a lot of abuse. It's just something to you plop down on the ground and use it and put it back in your car and away you go again. So it does have some advantages to buying used as well. So there's the components for it all together. Comes with a couple eyepieces. Anyway, this is another option for you if you are looking at starting out beginning in the hobby. Something I found kind of cool was these little sinoculars. These are put out by Lun Solar System, a well-known manufacturer of solar gear. These are 6x30s, and they say they're perfect for kids 13 years old and up. Adult supervision recommended, of course, because you're looking at the sun with them, but they do have lenses in them that provide you with the ability to look at the sun, look at sunspots, and ultra compact. This is a front-mounted filters making solar observation 100% safe. These front filters are manufactured from CE certified film to ensure the highest level of viewing quality. The light of the sun is reduced to a comfortable 1/10 to 5% transmission in dual. All ultraviolet and infrared components are completely and safety blocked out. So there you go. So gives you a pleasant orange color, it says, with these ones. So that's another idea for kids. If kids really want to have a look at viewing the sun, or yourself, of course. You can share these binoculars quite safely. So that's another option. $24.95.
That's quite a price.
That's quite a price. Now that's from Lund. Now that's a US. So whether it might be double that time you get to.
But it's still under $100, and
yeah,
that's nice viewing. That's nice.
Good deal. Yeah, Astro Buy Sell is a used website. That's right. Thanks, Winston. Okay, from there I'm going to go to this little kind of cool little thing I seen. This is called Bino Bandit. I haven't heard of these or seen them before, but when I went on there to take a look, I found this is one of the objects that they did say was new for this year. So actually, basically, what it is a device that you add to your binoculars to block out the stray light that would be coming around your eyeballs when you want to look at something in the sky, especially for all those Bino bud targets you want to pick out.
There you go.
There you go.
So, that's so smart to have that band around the glasses. And you're out there looking through binoculars or even for photographing things. I know like when we're on the river taking pictures,
Hmm.
sometimes you're at an angle where that sun is right in your eye, right in the side, and you have to take your hand off. You have to with one hand your camera because you have to block the sun. So I think that is just an ingenious idea.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad idea.
They'd be a nice accessory for those sinoculars.
They would be. That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, okay. Am I through everything? No, this is one other little thing I had found out there. I mean, a lot of people are when they're using binoculars, you're trying to find that target in the sky and you're not exactly sure where it is. Well, this little adapter here attaches to your binoculars like that. And it's a saddle adapter, which would allow you to set a red dot finder in this. Now, Mike, I know Mike has built his own adapter, but now they can probably get these 3D printed too, probably, Mike, no?
that looks like it's 3D printed, actually.
Yeah.
If you
It
look
does
at
look
it.
like that. Yeah.
So it is a device that you can add to your binoculars to allow you to set a red dot finder in here, and you can point that up to the sky, find the object, and then take a look quickly through the binoculars. So I thought it was kind of a neat little accessory anyway.
Mhm.
$15 for price wise, so that's not bad from Astronomy Plus.
They're great for those bigger pair of binos, like 70 and 80 millimeter and up.
Right.
'Cause you got them
Yeah.
on a tripod anyway.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
That's
Yeah,
where it come in handy.
exactly. And finally, hey, I want one of these.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking.
There's a
Yeah,
space
sure.
tent, Lite Tent, kids Galaxy Dome tent playhouse for boys and girls. Imaginative play pop-up tent for kids, indoor and outdoor fun.
That's for kids like us.
There it is. Yeah,
48 by 48. I'd have to curl up, I think. But
I think you have to. Yeah. Well, you might have your feet sticking out, maybe.
You buy two of them and put them together.
there you go.
Yeah. So
Bino tents. I like it.
I know text.
Yeah, I know they. So yeah, it's pretty cool little thing. I think they might even have some actually there's other models down there too.
Oh, I like the rocket one. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's my my bit of talk about.
I just want to put a little further thing too with that the 114 telescope with the StarSense on it. The app that you have that you use for that basically talks to you too. So not only does it help you find the planets, but it actually will explain to you what or not planets, but your objects in the sky. Sorry, but whatever you're looking at, it'll actually explain to you what it is that you're looking at. So what a great tool to actually learn, a little bit about nebulas and planets and galaxies.
Yeah.
Not just okay, well there it is, and that's
Yeah.
in it. What about it? Well, now
Yeah.
when you start really, hearing all about it, and you're getting to see it, it's really it's a different experience, and it really makes you understand and grow more with your knowledge base. So.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, I mean it's one thing to look up at the sky and see see an object, but then to know what you're looking at, the eyepiece is
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then it's not a UFO anymore.
That's true.
That's right. Everything's explained now.
It is. All right, that's my little bit of a kick at the can, I guess. So how about we stop on to who'd like to go up next?
Mike.
Mike.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me gotta shuffle some things around here. So what I was doing, I went on the net and I was taking a look around to see what's new. And one of the things I came across, and I thought, yeah, I like the idea of this. I want to talk about a little bit of these new Harmonic Drive mounts. They seem to be the new thing that's coming out on the market. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about them, see what they're all about, and just throw it out there and you can make your own choice of what you think. Let me see if I got the right screen here. Number one. So these are harmonic drives that are coming out on the market. The good thing about them is they're basically counterweightless, which is pretty cool. But we're just going on. What is a harmonic drive? Well, a harmonic drive, also known as a strain wave drive, is a form of mechanical drive that's used in a number of engineering applications, including robotics and automobiles. They're capable of high ratio payload capacity to weight of the equipment and are extremely precise. What are the harmonic drive telescope mounts? Well, it's the same thing, not surprising, but you mount telescopes on these harmonic drives that are incorporated into the mount. Although harmonic drives have been around for a long time, it's only in recent years that astronomy equipment manufacturers have started to produce telescope mounts that incorporate them. And I lost the words, but this is just a quick example of showing you the standard worm gear drives on the one side that are in most EQ mounts, And then these new Harmonic Drive is on the other side, and it's completely different setup altogether. It's I'm still fascinated as to how they work. It almost looks like it stretches the gear into place. But
Yeah, it does,
apparently
doesn't it? Yeah.
they're pretty solid, and zero apparently backlash. So that's a really good thing to have. So what are the advantages of these Harmonic Drive mounts? Now, I went on numerous sites, but most of the information that I get came off of Cloudy Nights. You go on that website and go into discussions, and there's a lot of talk from a lot of people all over, North America, and they know their stuff. So some of this stuff, or most of this information, I grabbed right off of Cloudy Nights. So the biggest advantage to them all together is weight. The big selling point of the Harmonic Drives is that they're small and light, especially in comparison to a German equatorial mount. It makes it easier to store, use, and transport. For example, the mount of a Skywatcher EQ6 Pro German equatorial mount weighs 38 pounds or 17 kilos, where the head of the ZWO AM5 Harmonic Drive weighs about 11 pounds or 5 kilos. That's a huge difference in weight when you're talking portability.
Yeah.
Ease of setup. To further lighten the mount head, Harmonic Drives do not need counterweights, although they can optionally add to increase the payload capacity. This makes them quicker and easier to set up with no need to balance as you would with a German equatorial mount. So that comes in handy as heck. So you don't have to balance, don't have to carry counterweights, and they're smaller and lighter. That's all pluses for sure. Are there any disadvantages? Now I'm cut off a little bit here at the bottom, but I'll see if I can squeeze all of this in. One disadvantage, they say, is price. Although they've been coming down, Harmonic mounts are more expensive than German equatorial mounts with a similar capacity levels. Now, that's a certain thing. You don't see a lot of EQ8 Harmonic Drives out there. Lower payload capacity. So related to price, Harmonic mounts with the same payload capacity as the CGEM will cost much more. For example, for around $2,000 US, you can buy a Skywatcher EQR Pro with a capacity of 44 pounds or 20 kilos, or you can get a ZWO AM5 for the capacity of 29 pounds or 13 kilos. However, if you add the counterweights to the AM5, it'll also make it 44 pounds. But you can trade off that smaller size knees for increased capacity. So the other part is they haven't been out there long. So the lack of proven performance, although the theory about performance is great, there's much less proof that performance in comparison to German equatorial mounts, which have been around for a long time and are well tested. So, the data is out there for those, but the data is not quite in all the way for these Harmonic Drives yet. And as a result, them being new, that it's still a valid challenge to give them some Skywatcher and Celestron and Astrophysics and others, that are good, well-proven mounts over the years. And what they've found a little bit is periodic error. They've got some periodic error built into them that you can, of course, correct with guide scopes and stuff like that. But it is there. It's not a backlash, and it's not a movement in a gear thing. It's just a periodic error thing. The Harmonic Drives for an advantage. It does not eliminate, a disadvantage. Sorry, the Harmonic Drive does not eliminate periodic error because every tooth in the spindle might be slightly different in shape. The periodic errors seen in these drives' behavior can be very complex with short periods. For this reason, Harmonic mounts work best with autoguiders. And most auto-guiding software products, such as PhD, which everybody uses, push here dummy, because I use it because it says that, have guiding algorithms that can assess and compensate for the periodic error displayed with the mount. So, and it's the best way of handling the complex periodic error of the Harmonic Drives that they produce. And with adequate management, periodic error fades into the background and the mounts guide beautifully. And here I just wanted to put up a list of some of the different prices for some of these different Harmonic mounts. And these prices are in US as far as I know. You started with a ZWO AM3, anywhere from $1,499 all the way up to the, how do you pronounce that? Huibum crew, the T4000. I think that's an equivalent to Paramount mounts. You're running like 24 grand as an equatorial mount. So the prices are, fairly on the higher side compared to the normal generic equipment that we're used to. all being Altaz and or German Equatorial. So that's all I got to say about that. And if you're out there looking for new equipment, you can make your own choice as to what you want to buy. I mean, that's what we all do. We run, we ask, we test, and we have a look, and then we decide that's what we're going to do. And that's all I got to say about that.
Sure.
Awesome, Mike. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
They're
Well, I think
they're neat drives.
Well, based on the research that's been done on them for astrophotography, that's one side of it. But that whole technology has been in and around for a bit. But they just introduced it, so the technology actually is proven because a lot of these major manufacturers are actually buying into this. Skywatcher being one, and they've introduced 2 harmonic drive mounts this year at NEAF. So I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more of these, and if there is any issues with them, like everything else over time, that'll be kind of worked out. And the more they get into the marketplace, like anything else, then the more competitive the prices will be because everybody's going to want their share of the market. So
Yeah, the only thing they were saying is they'll be good in the portability capacity. People that have like observatories and want to have like large big mounts,
yeah,
they may not push the harmonic drives to those size mounts because it's just not going to be cost feasible to do so.
yeah, and that's a whole different
Yeah,
class.
all wax all together. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
No, they're different. They're cool.
I've never seen that's the first illustration I've seen on how the harmonic drive actually pushes the gears around.
Yeah.
And it's continually doing this. So that's just really interesting to me to see that.
Yeah, and like I
Never
said,
expected to see that,
it's in contact the whole time, so there is no room for backlash or anything like
Yeah.
that.
But like you say, it's like it's squishing it so that it moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking at that some more. That's pretty cool stuff.
The sec, guys. She said that
What's that, Chris?
yeah, okay. Binoculars come in different sizes and weights. Do adapters that attach binos to tripods, or are adapters one size only?
You froze up a lot of what you said.
Out here. Are you there?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, okay. You're glitching out on me for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Oh well.
Did you hear what I mentioned there or no?
No, we missed the question because you froze.
Okay. Not sure why it's freezing. Anyway, okay. Mary King, question. Binoculars come in different sizes and weights. Do adapters that attach binos to tripods come in different sizes to accommodate this, or are adapters one size only?
You want to take it, Mike?
Well, what I've seen so far is the larger binoculars, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and 100s all come with a mount on them already. It's stuck to the crossbar, so to speak, and they already will bolt to a tripod themselves. The adapters that you buy, what I've noticed is they're all 1/4x20 thread, so you can unscrew the little screw on the front of your binoculars right on the very front. They all seem to have it right here. You can take this piece off,
the little Celestron insignia there.
and then you can see there's a 1/4x20 hole there. These stupid backgrounds, and that's where all of the binocular mounts mount to, and they all seem to be the same. They'll all fit that. So yeah, there are plastic ones and metal ones. I would suggest if you're looking to get a pair, trying to find a good pair of metal ones.
Yeah.
Nobody trusts plastic, especially in the wintertime when it gets cold. But other than that, if you got a regular pair of 10x50s or something like that, all the mounts are pretty much the same.
Or go to Home Depot, buy an L bracket and put a couple
Yeah.
of 1/4x20 bolts on it. Or
That works just as good.
Works
Yep.
as well. The metal L brackets you can find. Yeah. You don't have to spend the $30 for that.
Here's probably the most the strongest one that you're going to find out there. It's made by Farpoint
PowerPoint, yeah.
right there, and this thing is solid as a rock of Gibraltar. I have a pair of the 70mm ones, and I just put a dot finder on it, and then the binocular just slides into this little hole here. It drops down and it locks in, so it gives you the ability to adjust it up and down. But when you mount it on the mount itself, it's super solid, and it's so strong. And your binoculars, depending on your tripod that you're using too, but if you got a good solid tripod and a mount like this, your binoculars won't bounce around on you. But those plastic ones that come with them, because that's what I replaced on mine, they're still wavy as all get out. So
Yeah.
The larger pairs like this, these are 70 millimeter. They have the mount built right onto them already.
oh, that's the metal one, is it, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't have to worry about taking a 1/4x20 bolt off the front. The mount's built right onto the binoculars. And then of course I mounted a red dot finder on them like Chris was talking about earlier. I just 3-printed the mount and stuck it on there. So
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thanks for that good talk, Mike. Trudy says she's on seafood overload. Never mind, Trudy. I don't want to hear that. I know where you're getting that from too. So, yep. Okay. Paul, you're up, sir.
Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is actually an extension to what Mike's talking about and a little bit about what Chris talked about. And a lot of people out there who are into the astrophotography world, and they need to guide because they have whatever mount they have. Sometimes people struggle with guiding. Guiding can be a real pain in the foot. And unless you know your mount, unless you know your software, unless you know a lot of things, how to calibrate, how to troubleshoot, guiding is one of those things that has the largest curve that will have the most influence on your image if you don't get it right. So Celestron at last year's NEAF have come out with a product called the StarSense guider, and it's based on the initial version of the StarSense auto align, but it's that on steroids. And they've actually teamed up with PlaneWave and came up with a whole new software package for this. So that's what I'm going to talk about here. So let me just share my screen, and I do believe it's this one. So what you're looking at here is what they call the new StarSense Align, and it's been out since last year. It came out at NEAF 2023, and it's just been getting to the point now where it's been out long enough that a lot of the YouTube people that I watch are actually testing it out, and they're having amazing results with this. I was very surprised. I figured, okay, just another Celestron product that will work okay. But anyway, so I'll go through a little bit of that. So let's talk a little bit about what this is. So what is the StarSense Auto Guider? So the StarSense Auto Guider is basically, it's a computer, it's software, and it's a camera, but it's all housed in one unit, which makes it really, really unique. For all of us who are struggling or did struggle with auto guiding, we'd have to have our laptop, we have to use PhD2, a special camera, and we had to make sure the camera goes into the scope, get the scope that'll work with the camera, and all of that stuff. So what Celestron have done is they've looked at their StarSense Auto Align and how accurate that actually aligns your products. And then they just said, okay, let's just take it up another rung and let's put an auto guiding system on it. So that's what it actually is. Now, this is also a proprietary design. So that means that the auto guiding system that we're looking at from Celestron works with Celestron mounts. So, and again, I'll go through which ones that it's capable of. And to be honest, it's really most of them, which is really, really nice. Also with this guider, you get all the free software that you can download from Celestron. And that's the one thing I got to give a big kudos to Celestron for, is everything that they sell, they support with free software. And lots of times it's really good software. So hats off to those guys for pulling that off and doing that. And now they've actually teamed up with PlaneWave, who are actually software gurus in the high-end astrophotography world. So that's why I think this thing is being launched with such great confidence and has been a success. Now, what you're actually getting with this is, first of all, in the camera itself, in other words, this part right here, the optics that are in it, there's actually 4 elements in there in the optics. So the optics are really, really super sharp. So it's not a little piece of plastic that can maybe or maybe not get you a really good star to guide on. These things will give you what you need in this optics. Of course, it has all the onboard electronics, and that's due to their design and their partnership with PlaneWave. And it also has a Sony CMOS sensor in it. That's in the camera. So that's why, between those 3 things all put together, why they're able to give you the quality product that this thing actually is. Now, the software that comes with it is called the CPIW, and I think, yeah, there it is right here. So you can actually go to the Celestron website and you can download the software for free if you just want to have a look at it. Take a look at it, see what it's all about, and all that kind of stuff. What it is guiding software, and it's also mount control software. What it isn't is data acquisition software. So you still have to use your, if you're using Nina, or if you're using Sequence Generator Pro, whatever you're using to capture all your data, how many pictures and how long and all that stuff, you still have to use software for that. But other than that, this software handles the rest of it. Now, what's cool about this too, this is also self-calibrating. So let me go back to the picture here. And when they set this up for the calibration, I watched a demonstration of it, and they actually have 4 quadrants that you set your alignment points on, which is really cool. So they take basically the whole planisphere that we're looking at, because we look at planispheres that are circles, and it's got all of our night sky stuff in it, constellations and all that. And they'll take 2 sides on both sides of the meridian, one on the north side and one on the south side on both sides, and they'll actually align it to 4 points. If for some reason one of those points has an obstructed view of something, it will find another point. And you can actually go right up to 100 points if you want to, but to be honest, 4 points is plenty. And it does a really, really nice job. It also has, it's also self-calibrating. So this is really plug and play. So when you take this thing, hook it up on your telescope, do all your normal setups when you decide how you're going to operate this thing, because you can operate it with a hand control, or you can operate it with a computer. There's a lot of variety that way. But once you decide that and get it all set up, basically it really is plug and play. Push the button, and it, just like the StarSense auto align, it'll go through the whole procedure and get you lined up. And on top of that, again, they've also got polar align assistance built into that software as well. So if you want to get the most accurate and best tracking, it's always in good order to have good, accurate polar alignment. And this also will help you with that. Now, so here are some of the highlights. So some of the highlights with this, of course, are the auto alignment. 3 minutes, folks. Take it outside, put it on the ground, get it lined up towards the north, and press the button. In 3 minutes, you're up and running. So it's very precise go-to setup. It auto guides as an all-in-one product. It has, again, the assisted polar alignment. And of course, there's multiple ways to control it. It comes, you can use a hand controller, or you can use computer. It is ASCOM compatible rather. Now I watched this, the demonstrations I told you about, and this is what really, really impressed me, was these guys were taking this out of the box, putting it on their telescopes and mounts, and then they were using the Celestron 11-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain scopes. Those things are friggin' long. I mean, those are super, super long focal length telescopes, which means they're extremely hard to track and guide with. If you got any problems at all in your system, a long focal length telescope will show it in seconds. So anyway, they're using these 11-inch telescopes with this little tiny StarSense auto guiding system, and they're getting friggin' round stars with 10-minute subs. That is unbelievable. So to me, watching that, and not only from one person thinking, okay, well, maybe he's a little biased. I've watched it on a number of different videos, and it is so impressive. And the other thing with it, with the software, is, let me just see there. And so let's see where there's a thing where it says about the PhD. I know I wrote something on it. I want to get the wording correct. Anyway, what it is basically is all that acquisition software that we have, like the Nina or the whatever you use to collect your software with, or your data with. It has also the PhD2 system built into it. So the only thing that this system doesn't do on its own yet, because there's some part of it that's in the beta testing, and that's the nice thing about this, because the software is upgradable, and as time rolls along, it will do this too. But you're still using part of the PhD2 system, so you can do your dithering. For those who don't know what dithering is, it's just basically it moves your camera between images a pixel or 2 or 3 one way or another, just to give you a little cleaner picture. So, but anyway, so that's the only thing that it uses it, but it does not use the guiding for any of that. And I could not find anywhere in there that said that I had to adjust anything in that software, which is what we have to do with our PhD too. We got a gazillion things we have to play with to get the rhythm right. But according to this and what I've seen so far, no one has mentioned, and I haven't seen in the software any place where you can actually go ahead and adjust all of these different algorithms. So it's just basically turn it on all the time on guide, and basically away it goes. Now, for technology that is this good, there's also a price to be paid. So I know myself, if I could find something that would give me that kind of guiding, and all I have to do is put it on there and push a button, I'm telling you, I would pay for it. So having said that, the Canadian price is $1,000. So it's not a cheap device. It's not like buying a $50 guide scope, a $200 camera, and throwing it into some software and then crossing your fingers that it works. This thing works, and it works well, and it's designed to work with, if you are a Celestron mount owner, and I have to stress that, it works extremely well because it's designed to work with Celestron mounts, and not only does it do German equatorial guiding, but it also guides with Alt-ASI mounts. Now, keep in mind, any long exposure with any Alt-ASI mount, you're going to get field rotation. But in any event, you can still get better, longer exposures if you got good guiding. So anyway, that is my little talk on this little fellow called the StarSense Auto Align. Go on the Celestron site, look it up. There's all kinds of videos on it. And it's one thing that I'm a little excited about and I'm quite impressed with.
We couldn't tell.
I fell off my chair again. Okay, so anyway.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.
Yes, yeah. So I have one other little short blurb, and I'm just going to run over it very quickly. Or how we do? No, you know what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. We get time.
No, I'll do it another time. We're getting into 9 o'clock.
Well, we were late starting.
Another time. We still got more to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll save it for another week.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. All right. That's our chat then for what's new on the market right now.
There you go. Lots of stuff.
If you happen to pick up any of those items and you'd like to give us a few comments on them, we'd love to see them in comments. So send me a message for sure.
Yeah.
I'll pass it on. Mike, Bino Bud, sir.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Bino Bud, yes.
Is he around tonight? He is.
All right. Binocular target of the week this week by Bino Bud is, and in answer to that question that came up earlier before we started the program, who?
Oh, I didn't see it, darn.
NGC 457. The owl cluster. Who? It's also known as the ET cluster, or if you're a little younger, the Wally cluster. NGC 457 is the brightest open cluster in Cassiopeia, one of the finest objects of this type in the northern sky. At magnitude plus 6.4, it's just beyond naked eye reach or visibility, but easily seen in binoculars and a beautiful sight in a telescope because we've all been on it 100 times. The bright cluster of stars is arranged in a prominent lines and curves to resemble an owl, hence the popular name, the owl cluster, or ET, or anyway, who gives a hoot? How would I find it in the sky? Well, if you're on a clear night, like tonight, and
Who gives a hoot?
What's that?
Who gives a hoot?
Who gives a hoot? Yeah. Go outside tonight at 2300 and hopefully it'll be clear. Orient yourself 30 degrees north-northeast. Look straight up. Find Cassiopeia. Everybody knows that big W. Or in this case, where it's sideways, it might be a number 3. But you find that longest leg between the two stars. Draw a line straight up and just off that a little bit, and you'll find NGC 457. Again, there's the W. Find that longest arm right here. Just stretch it down a little bit, come down, and you'll find NGC 457. You can't miss it once you're on it. What does it look like? Well, it does kind of look like an owl or ET because there's the 2 eyes, there's his arms stretching out, and he comes down through a skinny little body and his feet at the bottom, or a tail, whatever you may see. 10 by 50 binoculars, and this is a bad rendition because of the software, but that bright star doesn't show up so bright. And you can actually make out, it looks like a little ET or a little owl in 10 by 50 binoculars. Compared to the full moon, it's about half the size of the full moon. And are you ready for this one? Why haven't aliens visited our solar system? because they looked at the reviews and we only had 1 star.
Oh, wow.
That's binocular target of the week by Bino Bandit.
Oh,
Oh, wow. That's
You don't
great.
get 5 stars, you don't get visited.
I'm not going to give you 5 stars for that one.
Oh, man. Oh,
All right. Interesting. Thanks, Mike. Gotta love the ET cluster.
Love it.
That's right.
All right, Paul, have you got
Yes.
this fun fact next, maybe?
Yes, I'm going to try that. There
Okay.
we go. All right.
Talking about this week.
Okay, let's see. This is this week's.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Hey, welcome back,
Hey.
Rosanna. Another
Yay.
absolutely fun fact to offer you up tonight. So let's get right into it. So Rosanna writes, hi, Paul. Jump in and buckle up. Now, just hang on a sec. I'll get the pictures going before I can do that. There we go. Jump in and buckle up. We are back in time travel machine and heading out to explore more amazing ancient astronomical discoveries. We are traveling back to the year 1442 to what is now called Beijing, China, upon the top of a now ancient building, then called platform of star watching. Many instruments used for astronomy were positioned to allow the study of the heavens. This building still has 8 instruments on top and is now a planetarium and a museum. One of the most outstanding features of this observatory is that it had no telescopes. During the Ming Dynasty, since the emperor was considered to be the son of heaven, the study of the movements of heavenly bodies was a vital business. The second of a third-generation emperor brought in by Muslim scholars, an award-winning Flemish Jesuit ministry, see if I can pronounce this, Ferdinand Verbiest, and top scholars of China to advance the study of astronomy. The observatory was a mix of Western and English teachings, and in addition, ancient instruments featured extensive Asian flourishes in the metalwork such as dragons, lions, and floral swirls. Brilliant and beautiful, as nearly another century past, more Jesuit scholars from Austria, Germany, etc., were brought in to design and create more instruments to aid in the study of the heavens. The worldly collaboration of over 400 years ended in 1837 with the departure of Father Veracimo Monteiro de Serra, a Portuguese priest, who resigned from the Directorate of Astronomy, effectively marking the conclusion of an age when European missionaries led China's imperial dictatorate. Now on to the rooftop. Oops, I guess that was the rooftop one first, I think. So the celestial globe shows apparent positions of stars in the sky. Now the next one is the ecliptic armilla, measures the ecliptic coordinates of a celestial star, or certain star rather. Now on the next one, the equatorial armilla provide readings of true solar time, as well as right ascension difference and distances of celestial objects. Now the next one is a sextant used to determine the angle between the horizon and the celestial body. And I do believe these are also on ships from way back in the day. Azimuth theodolite, there we go. Azimuth theodolite used to calculate the difference in elevation, horizon, and azimuth angles between points A and B. Alt azimuth used to measure the azimuth angle of a star. Here, I'm hoping I'm getting these right. And quadrant used for determining the altitude of a celestial body above the horizon. Jihing armillary sphere to demonstrate the movement of the celestial sphere about a stationary Earth as it's at its center. It's like a gyrator, hey? That's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah?
No, I said, wow.
Oh, wow. I said, Paul. In what would make a compelling historical action movie, Many of the instruments for stargazing were stolen and returned several times over the years, both by invading countries and by changing political regimes. However, one way or another, the ancient steel instruments have always made their way back to the observatory. Germany returned 5 in 1921. So now, let's make a quick hop back into our time machine. Can anyone guess what year and place we are going to now? I'll give you a few hints. This time, time-wise, we are traveling sideways and globally 4,167 kilometers away, and don't follow the numerical order of the balloons on the map. They are deliberately misleading. So where do you think we're heading? Anybody know? You know what Rosanna says? Find out next time on the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
That's not fair.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Oh, the old cliffhanger. The
I
old
can't believe
cliffhanger.
it. She
Yeah,
gave us a cliffhanger. That's
you
awesome.
did.
So tune in next week so we can find out what that was.
Awesome. Thank you.
Gotta watch out for the balloons coming from North Korea now. That's the ones you gotta worry about.
Yeah. Chinese ones too. Yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Rosanna.
that was a cliffhanger for sure. We'll see everybody back here next week. All right. Thank you, Rosanna, for that. Interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
Always, that's good.
Let's go to a few photos. So we can get
Show me the
started.
pics.
Show me the pics. All right. Go with. Okay, got a few photos here to share. Second.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Hey, okay, so we got this one from Paul Crowder. Paul says, hi, Chris, and greetings from the UK. Paul's on here quite a bit with us and across the ocean. We'd like to share with you an image of the strawberry full moon, he says, captured by my good friend Lindsay, who has just taken up an interest in astronomy. So there you go.
Wow.
Another
Oh,
fan.
the clouds.
Nice photo.
Thanks, Paul, and thank you, Lindsay, for sharing that with us.
Hmm.
Another capture here from the moon the other night. Bonnie Lee Armstrong sent this one in. She says, losing the strawberry moon to the clouds, but got capture part of it anyway. Waterside between Alma and Cape Enrage. I know that spot. Nice spot.
Sure. Well, that's Split Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Oh, it is so, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot.
Excuse me. Oh, she said between Alma and Cape Enrage. So.
Oh, looks like Split Rock, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Get this under control. Okay. Thank you for that, Bonnie. Nope. Back up a little bit. Went too far. I think this is one for Deborah Green. Yes, it is. Deborah Green says, saw this in Nova Scotia tonight. She says, so big and pink. And she said the skies were beautiful too.
They were.
Very nice.
Brian Mills sent this one in. And thank you, Brian. There's the one from Deborah Green's sky. Sorry. A little bit mixed up there. That was with Deborah Green's shot.
So where's this one from?
It's from Nova Scotia, she said.
Oh, no, okay.
Didn't say where, but I'm going to go from there to this one from Deborah Wadman or Kathy Babkirk. I'm sorry. I need to get out of the full screen here. Hang on a second. Can I get out of the full screen? I can't. Okay, keep going. This one's from Deborah Rodman.
Wow, that's nice, eh?
Hmm.
Nice scene.
Gary Olson here.
Mhm.
And then Amy Price. She says last night's moon taken in the evening. Nicely done, Amy.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Haley Aaron caught this one. She said this was last night's moon. Can't wait for tonight. That was the night before the full moon.
There you go.
And CJ Bernard sent this one in. He said I can only give you 98%, but that's still
Wow.
Good enough, yeah.
Yes, sir.
nicely
A lot of
done.
moon.
Yes, for sure. Carolyn Brunkhouse sent this one, and Brunklas sent this one in. She said beautiful moon night over Kirkton, Ontario. Love the cloud formations
Yeah,
for sure.
clouds.
Always nice to see the clouds like that.
Very nice.
Sorry, Jeff
Oh,
Dalton.
yeah.
Jeff Dalton's strawberry moon around 12:30 a.m. Saturday, peeking through some thinning cloud and creating rain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Halo, look at the halo.
isn't
Yeah,
that something?
yes,
I
sir.
could-
Can't say I've seen the moon make a halo like that yet.
Oh,
That's awesome.
this one came from Linda Braille, taken in Punta Cana, she said. Well, this was last March, but still had to share it, so I was going to share
There
it.
you go.
Here you go. Winston Coke sent this one in. I said, I present to you SH-025, or for the layman's terms, Messier 8. The distance from Earth is 4,100 light years, in which it is located in Sagittarius. I took 1 hour and 30 seconds of shots to achieve this region. This picture includes NGC 6530, 6544, and IC 4685. The equipment used was an AM5, the ASI Air Plus, and a Red Cat 51 with a 120 millimeter ASI 120 Mini for guiding. SEA 8 is viewable with binoculars. No filters were used. Shot in Bortle 6 zone. This was processed in serial. Nicely done, Winston.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, got the lagoon, the trifid, and some clusters. Yeah, very nice.
That's one busy piece of sky.
It is. Yeah.
I'm going to share this one from Kathy Adams. The Wizard Nebula, she had reprocessed it using serial to stack and stretch a star net to separate stars from nebula and to process separately in Photoshop and denoise, and then recombined. Fun, she says, and one of my favorite nebula. Lots of fun to do on hot days or on cloudy days. There you go. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's interesting to look at that wizard, because it looks like it's laying on his back, but he's sitting in a chair and his both arms are out. If that was actually stood up, you would see the wizard's hat on the very top, and then the two hands looks like he's got them sitting on two arms.
These two
Yeah,
here?
right there, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and his feet are down the bottom, those white or cleaner.
Down here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
This is it up here. Yes, sir.
that's his cap up there. Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
yeah, very cool.
Nicely done. Thanks, Kathy. And a couple here from Robert Gadet. Robert's M101 reprocessed, he said, from Pinwheel Galaxy and Ursa Major. Hubble palette helped bring out a bit more detail in the galaxy's arms.
There you go.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's a nice
a fun
galaxy.
galaxy.
Yeah. And
That's really well placed right now, too.
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, look at the wall.
Here's a reprocessed of the North American Nebula. He said, this time I processed I don't know where this is. Where's this at, Paul?
That's the Cygnus wall. That's the bottom
Okay,
of the
okay.
North American Nebula.
Another brick in the wall.
Another brick in the wall.
Where's that at? Yeah.
It's in
never mind.
Cygnus. It's in
Yeah,
Cygnus.
yeah, I knew.
Hey.
Hey, it's back. This time I processed using a Hubble palette, he said, from the dual band captured a week ago. Serial is awesome. Only 15 minutes exposure time, using 10-second exposures using the Seastar S50. There you go, the Seastar. I have nice capture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the North American Nebula is the wall.
Hmm.
Love it.
Great wall.
Oh, we're going to go on from there to what events are coming up. So here's Lisa's lookup chart for June, and she sent me one today for July. I haven't. I'll save that one for next week. So we're here, of course, right around this area, aren't we now? Yeah, moon of perigee coming up on the 27th. Saturn's 0.8 degrees below the moon. Neptune is 0.3 degrees below the moon, so you might be able to catch Neptune if you had a telescope and you wanted to see what it looked like. To me, it just looks like a little soft blue ball. No detail, of course. Just too far away for that. Last quarter moon comes up on the 28th, and then she has Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Mars, and Jupiter in a line all that week, which is next week, I guess. And so she puts the dates, the events, peak time for those events, and seeing tools that you require, either naked eye, binoculars, or telescope. You can find Lisa at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, Mastodon, and Facebook, and that's Lisa's Lookup, Astronomy and More. And I did bring up a picture from Stellarium, so there's a shot for starting on June 29th. Now this is 4:15 in the morning because you got to get up pretty early, to catch
You're just going to see Jupiter, though, aren't you? Because at 4:15, the sky's getting clear.
Yeah, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn there, but you've got a waning moon, so maybe 4 o'clock might be better. Even 3:45 might even be better. Sorry, folks, that's the time of year. That's where we are. So,
Well, that's it exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we'll actually we lost a second the other day. What are we at now? 23rd. So we think we lost 4 seconds today. We lost 1 second yesterday. So we're already turning the other way.
You see that at 4:15 already? You're seeing Pleiades.
Pleiades, yeah, there we are. So
Yeah.
So I added that in there just as an little extra. So take a look next week for that display in the sky. And from there, of course, we got a June-July calendar that's put out by Kurt Nason for us. This is you can find us at sjastronomy.ca or raskinb.ca, and there's the rest of the month. For us, nothing here yet for star parties. Our first star party is in August, so they'll be popping up here shortly. But our next meeting is July the 6th. St. John Astronomy Club meets. This is 10 o'clock here. What's 10 o'clock?
No.
No, could be 7 o'clock. I'm not going to go.
7 o'clock.
No, that's the meeting at Tim's.
No, must be.
Yeah, exactly.
After the meeting, yeah. The meeting after the meeting. Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's a calendar, and actually next week is Asteroid Days, next Sunday. So
You just reminded me to set your clock back 3 hours.
there you go. Okay, and if you have images that you'd like to share, please send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to get them up on the next broadcast. Now, hang on 1 second before we go away from that, because I want to share one other thing. And I'm going to drag it over here so you can see it. Maybe we can. I think we can. There it is. Hey, and so this is from solarham.com. I like this guy's site. He's got a lot of data on here. Like, look at the information that he pulls up here.
Wow.
About the sun, the geomagnetic forecast. So solarham.com. Go there if you're looking for information. I'm visiting him all the time now to see what's up. Here's a little spike of a little M-class flare yesterday, but let's take a look down the page and take a look at this guy. What's this? This is our old pal AR 3664. And then 3697, and now 3723. So it's the third time around the sun. That one that produced all that activity back on the 10th, right? That the storm that produced that one that was the best in 2 decades. So of course, is our old pal still active? Of course it is. He says a near X flare M9.3 was detected at 1301 UTC today. The flare itself was fairly rapid, so no coronal mass ejection with this one. But we will get a better view as the returning flare champion over the next few days. So it's going to start to spin around in front of us again. So let's take a look now back for the third time. After turning into view from far side of the sun, the region was first assigned 3664 on May the 1st. And would go on to produce nonstop X flares, and the resultant eruptions were responsible for the extreme geomagnetic storm on May the 10th to 11th. Would reappear again on May 28th and was reassigned AR 3697. And we're producing additional major solar flares. Now, what will I have in store for us this time around? Stay tuned to find out. So keep an eye on this guy. See what happens.
Yes, indeed. And before we sign off, first time since 1942, history may be taking place tomorrow night. Tune in and watch and see if the Oilers do not make the most, the only other team that did it, from a 3-0 deficit to winning the Stanley Cup was the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1942. And Edmonton is on the verge of doing that very thing tomorrow night. So tune into that game if you're a hockey fan. It's going to be a corker.
When you said something special, I thought it was Boeing's going to get him another attempt to get the rocket ship back from the space station. Since 1942.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to ride that one on the way back. I'd rather just take a parachute. Yeah.
So go Oilers, go. Bring the cup back to Canada.
Oilers, yeah.
So you're talking that's what? Hockey? No.
Not basketball.
Basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
Slippery bunch, those Oilers.
Yeah,
For sure.
indeed.
All right, so that's our show for this evening. We hope you enjoyed the program tonight. Sorry about the apologies for the late start tonight, but that's what happens sometimes when you're live. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the program tonight. Next Sunday is Asteroid Day, and in honor of that day, we will have Kurt Nason back with us to talk about the Tunguska asteroid, and that was the event that took place 116 years ago on June the 30th of 1908.
Wow.
So we'll be talking all about that one. Special thanks, of course, goes out to Rosanna for fabulous fun facts. Thank you, Rosanna. We're looking forward to part 2 now. The cliffhanger, leave us hanging.
Stay tuned.
Thanks to all of you who share the program. Trudy, of course, who shares it a dozen different places at least. And all of you who do share it for us, thank you. Remember, we do love getting your photos, so send them in to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them up on our next broadcast. Okay, so special thanks again to all of our friends at Rogers for joining us this evening as well. So until next week, everybody, wishing you all clear skies. As we like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Right.